Chapter 5 of MUFASA. Before. From then on, Taka and MUFASA continued their mischievous escapades, relishing their youthful exuberance. They explored the savannah each day with newfound energy as if they were seeing the world for the first time. They scampered through the tall grasses, chasing each other, and leapt over small shrubs and bushes. And though Mufasa missed his old home and his parents, as time went by, he felt more and more at ease in this new place. Taka and Mufasa's adventures were as boundless as the vast plains they called home. However, time marched on, and with each passing day, the cubs grew older, wiser, and more curious about the world that lay beyond their familiar playground. Days danced into months, and months melted into years. Soon the once playful cubs were young adults, their bodies lengthened and their manes starting to hint at their regal potential. Although the cubs stood a bit taller now, their gazes sparkled with the same mischief and adventure. The passage of time had not dulled their spirits, but instead fueled a newfound desire for exploration and pushing the boundaries of their world. One day, Taka and Mufasa hid amid the tall grass, eyeing the sleeping male lions ahead of them under the shade tree. The younger lions crept toward the pride, blending in with the dead silence. Then suddenly Mufasa pounced toward them, announcing, "Elephant stampede!" Taka pounced in the next to Mufasa's, adding, "Run for your lives!" The lions jolted from their daytime nap. Some clawed up the tree's trunk, and others jumped into the branches. Fear flashed in their eyes until they realized it had only been a prank. "Chicago jumped like 20 feet, Mufasa said with a laugh, gesturing to a lion who now hid in the tree branches. "That's a new record," Taka added. "Wabasi," complained Shigaru, still hiding in a tree. "They did it again! Your sons are nothing but trouble." Wabasi cowered behind the shade tree, ashamed. He pointed to Mufasa. "That one is not my son." Shikaru shook his head. "They are heathens, the both of them." Obasi growled low. "The stray is forbidden to be near the shade tree." "Mufasa and I were just playing," Taka began, standing up for his brother. Obasi reared his head and roared. "Do not say his name, Taka! I won't let his cowardly blood corrupt you. You two will never be brothers." Turned away Mufasa. "Now go back to the females and stay away from my son." Obediently, the two brothers split up, Mufasa heading for the high grass toward the female lions and Taka remaining at the shade tree. "Oh, your mother, she adopts every lizard, speaks to passing grasshoppers," Obasi told Taka. Taka did not much like the company of his bitter father. Obasi always badmouthed someone, even his son's mother. "I want to go with him," Taka protested. Obasi's red-rimmed eyes flashed with anger. "You want to be with the females, you belong with the males." "He goes to hunt with mother," Taka said, thinking about all the time Mufasa had spent stalking prey next to Eshe over the years. "One day he will betray you. That is what strays do." But Taka remained adamant. "Mufasa would." Hey, Obasi lowered himself to Taka and nuzzled him. "This will all be yours, my son." Obasi lifted his head and gestured to the expansive savannah plains. "You will be king, so pay attention and study every move I make." Then Obasi dramatically lay down in the shade, half gasped, and closed his eyes. "Sleeping?" cried Taka. "Again?" "That is what males do," Obasi said. "We protect the pride as we nap. That's power." Obasi's words echoed through Taka's soul. Taka whispered, "Power," trying to find meaning in what his father had just told him. The pride of lions stretched out under the shade tree. Taka stared at them, loungingly lazily under the canopy of leaves, and then looked off in the opposite direction where he could see Mufasa and Eshe going toward the meadows. He wished with all his heart that he could join them. As they disappeared from view, the sound of their footsteps faded away, leaving only the soft rustling of the grasses and the distant calls of birds to fill the air. After crossing the clearing that looked out over the Valley of Kings, Eshe settled down. Curious, Mufasa asked, Why are we stopping? Eshe replied, Close your eyes and tell me what you hear, what you feel. Mufasa closed his eyes and sniffed the air. After a beat, he replied, There's a herd of antelope heading across the dry lake bed about half a day from here. Eshe looked at him with pride. And how do you know they're not gazelles? Concentrating once again, Mufasa said, Their steps are too heavy, moving way too slow. Eshe made a low noise in her throat in agreement. What else? Come on, you can do it. Mufasa replied, When the wind hits their horns, it moves up instead of across. So definitely antelope horns. Eshe nodded. Very good. Mufasa turned away from her and sniffed the air again. Eshe asked, What is it, Mufasa? What's wrong? Mufasa shook his head, not wanting to say, but decided to share anyway. Sometimes I get a scent. It's barely a trace on the wind, and it smells like home. For a moment, his parents' faces flashed through his mind. And then it's gone, he said sadly. Eshe smiled gently. Mufasa, your parents, we can keep looking farther downriver. Mufasa lowered his gaze, not wanting Eshe to see the sadness in his eyes. They're gone, Eshe. You're wasting your time training me like this. She looked him squarely in the eyes. But these skills you have, no other male has them. Mufasa pawed the grassy meadow, patantlant. Basi will never accept me. I'll never be his blood, his family. Eshe grew soft. Eyes grew soft. But you are my family, and if our Basi could see how gifted you are, well, maybe I like being a stray. No rules, no responsibilities. I'm the lucky one, Eshe. What do you mean, Mufasa? Eshe snapped. I never have to be like Taka, he said. I never have to be like Taka, he said. He turned to walk away, but said one last thing before he left the meadow. I never have to be king. That's the end of chapter 5.